Hello, hello, hello. Making a cold clay video. I turned the heater on right next to me because that's the only way I can handle this room. I couldn't even stay in this room anymore because the heater in that corner of the room, it took like 10 hours for this heater on full heat to even get the room a little bit warmer. So I have to have the heater right next to me in order to do any kind of activity. And it's very, very annoying to say the least. So this clay is getting a little bit tough now to use. So I'm gonna make a figure with that. The water is starting to evaporate all of it, even though it is in that container, but it's not really airtight, this container. So I wanted to do sewing, but it is so darn cold here that I just feel like I just keep going back in my room where I have a heater on and heat myself up in my room, and then when I come back out I have to quickly go through the house and do whatever I have to do and then go back into my room. And this is all not good. No, one should have a house, a home that is warm in every corner. 70, 80 degrees. So, but now our house is like 40 degrees, 35. I'm not exaggerating. I really am not exaggerating. Fahrenheit, that is. So. Making a video, but it's not filming in towards the stairs. So. And I also wanted to continue working on this painting, but it's just so incredibly cool. But I'm gonna work on that painting a little bit after I make the video. So, but just wanted to talk a little bit because I like talking. You may have noticed that I like talking. You know, when I talk to my brother, I just talk and talk and talk and talk, and I don't even realize that I need to be quiet and listen to him. Oh gosh, I talk too much because I'm just so enthusiastic about everything. There's so much to say about every subject. Yeah. Smells delicious. I love the perfume oils from Eden Botanicals. I love, love, love those. My biggest compliments to Eden Botanicals, really, particularly on their own compositions. My goodness, they are. Every one of them is it's a prize winner. Every one of them. Every one of them. The amber essences, amber pure and simple, the rose essence, the sandalwood dream, the mystic winds, all of them, every one of them is an absolute prize winner. The way they combined these different notes with one another, and this is really an art. That's like mixing up a delicate color or making a delicate artwork or writing a poem or writing a novel. It's really an art form to make perfume. One has to really feel those individual notes in depth, and really feel the character of it, and feel how one character would correspond with another character, and particularly in which concentration too. I mean, this is really, they're really good at what they're doing. It's amazing. And taste, I'm a taste fanatic. I just love gourmet food. We can make the world really amazing, all together, all of us. We really could. I talked to my brother earlier about this. If every single person would go within himself, every single person would instantly, right now on the spot, say, I am done with my neurotic, sick act outs that I'm doing. Whatever that is. Could be drug addiction. There are people cutting themselves, hurting themselves. There are people flagellating themselves. There are people doing sadomaso. There are people hurting others. There are people acting out, playing video games all day. There are people that are smoking, drinking, taking drugs. There are people that use porn all day long, non-stop, without end. People that I've seen all of this, I've talked to these people. I'm not judging, I'm just observing. And it's neurotic, and it's an act out. That's all it is. It's an escape mechanism. I mean, there's nothing wrong with enjoying good food and sex and the pleasures that are all healthy for us. But, if people are doing this like a gambler, like, if they are taking Viagra, and I've talked to these people, I see how they are thinking and writing, and they're totally not in tune. They want this intimacy, but they're not in tune with the other person at all. If I met any of these, they would beat me up. So, my goodness, let's become aware about this. Let's become aware of our act outs. Very important that we become aware about it. I'm really diving into this now for myself. I'm not letting myself get away with any kind of escape route or defense mechanism or denial or lies, self-lies, any of these things. I'm not gonna do it. It doesn't feel good. It feels sick. It feels unhealthy, unwell. It's not whole. It's not wholesome. Wholesome is be that nerdy, dorky, homely, be that uninteresting or clown or whatever is that people are so terrified of being labeled. Be that, be ugly or bland or this or that or whatever, or uninteresting or low class, if that's what people want to call us. And it doesn't matter. Or not pretty, or look not feminine enough. What the list goes on and on and on and on. Be any of this. If they want to see you that way, be that for them. But please stop the struggle with other people. Please stop wanting anything from anyone. Please take a break, sit down, go within yourself, let go, let other people be, let them be, let them go. Say thank you. I'm good. I'm going home. I don't need that stuff. I don't need that struggle. I don't need to be 10 hours in front of the mirror. Really, I have much better things to do with my life. Much, much better. Much saner and healthier and more fun. I have creative things to do. I have activism to do. I talk to people. I do my part to make the world a better place. So let's do it all. If we all do it, if we all did that, let your Botox get flushed out of your system. Your system knows what it's doing to flush that terrible stuff out of your poor cheekbones and your cells. Let your immune system flush that stuff out and never put that in again. Okay? And have a wrinkle. It's okay. I tell you, it's okay to have a wrinkle. Or 2 or 100 wrinkles or 1,000. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many wrinkles you have, or droopy eyelids, or look like someone punched you in the face like me here with this here. Yeah, I don't have a makeup on. Yeah. But allow it. This is part of our school. We're going through this. What's more important than cosmetic surgery and any of these things is that we have no stress at all. And being in front of the mirror is stress that causes tremendous stress. For the immune system, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. It causes the whole body to get out of alignment to be in front of the mirror. So that's why I don't spend very much time in front of the mirror. I mean, I want to look okay. I don't want to be going on anyone's nerves or something. But I'm not gonna make myself a slave to fitting in and to pleasing society, or to just to be honored or respected. It doesn't mean that much. It really doesn't. Respect yourselves. Respect your bodies. That's more important than anything else. It doesn't matter if someone else respects your body. What really matters more than anything else is that you respect your own body and love your own body. Old, young, tall, short, heavy, light, big, slender, whatever shape someone is. Love your body. Your body is your mothership. It is your vessel. Love your body. Kiss your body. Very important. I mean, it is so important that words cannot describe this. It really is that important. That's the foundation of our existence. If you cannot love your body, if you flagellate yourself, if you hurt yourself, if you put Botox in you, you're not loving your body. This is a fact. Okay? Listen to me just with this. Listen to your own body. Listen into your own body, into your own system. When you meditate, your body will speak to you. Your body will tell you what it needs. Someone in society, or food gurus on YouTube will tell you you cannot this or this or this or this. Sit down in meditation and listen to your own body, and let your body tell you what it needs. If your body says, I really need to make myself vanilla waffles, then go ahead and get a Belgian waffle maker and make yourself vegan whole food vanilla waffles. And eat as many as your body wants it. Not like, oh, I can only eat a sliver or I get fat and then they will not respect me. No, you eat as much as you want. But eat the healthy stuff. That's my message to you. Eat the healthy stuff. Eat whole food vegan. Very important. You can take supplements. You can take amino acids. B vitamin, B12. You take cyanocobalamin. So this is cyanocobalamin is derived from two natural molecules, but they are put together. So it's not that alchemist. I don't know if it occurs in nature like this, but I think it works very well. And it is vegan, so. And I don't know if it's that great. I'm not a total expert on this. I don't know if this is the greatest. I've been trying to dig into this. There's a lot of controversy. There are a lot of contradicting messages out there on nutrition. But that's why it is so important that we get into it and read it and participate in this and test things on ourselves and see how it makes you feel, see what your body needs. Very important. We're not all exactly the same. We have different bodies and different needs. I personally just cannot eat an animal or animal products. Because those animals, they want to exist and they don't want to be exploited. So, because of that. And the most important thing is never eat pigs again. Never. Never eat pigs or any large mammal again. Never, never, never eat a pig or I don't even want to say it. Please don't eat any more mammals. No more pigs. No more of those that breastfeed their babies. No more. It is unethical and it is cruel. I will not put that into my body, that suffering and that sentient being. I've seen it all now. I've seen all of that I needed to see on the internet. I'm done with it. No more. No more suffering. I'm thinking about what should I do with this? What kind of figure should I make with this? Maybe another face? or maybe a plant. What matters is that we sit down and we are radical about that. Radical. Radical means no more looking at what someone else thinks. That's being radical. Radically good. That's radical self-love. No more looking, no, it doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Most mental illness forms are coming out of that. They have their origin in that. And then they become like so bizarre, and they seem like they never started anywhere. That's just some bizarreness. But no, it always starts with the ego, with the self-defense, with the escape mechanisms, and then later on it becomes an automated thing that starts running off in one direction, and that takes on a life on its own. So we need to bring all of this back. Well, the moment you sit down and stop caring what other people think, all of these things, they will puff away. They, they, they will puff into awareness. So they will dissolve right in front of your eyes. No more need for Viagra and these things that so many people are taking. No more need for Prozac and Seroquel and Risperdal and Haldol, whatever these things are called. No more need for any of these horrible things that cause liver damage and kidney damage and organ damage and heart failure. No more. It's not necessary. Listen to what your body needs. I decided I'm just gonna make a column, like a cubic column out of this. That's what I'm gonna do. I have a lot of those already, but I like them so much. They function as a hedge or plant or tree in my collection of sculptures. I call them my in vitro meat plants, and I want that collection to one day be replicated in rubber figures, toys for children to play with. So to be out of the conventional forms, but into the infinite cosmos, the real art forms, modern art. It's much more invigorating. When I was a child, and the artist from France, Niki de Saint-Foy, had sold 3 very large sculptures, the size of a real large truck, each one of them. I sold them to my hometown, and they brought them to the river. I was so infinitely inspired. I was so happy to see them there. I immediately painted them. Then I started to replicate them in small with my clay, my kids' clays. Painted them into the same colors. I was fascinated, and I wrote Freund in German, under one of those nanas that she made. She called them nanas. Happy women, happy chubby women with big colorful boobs that had flowers painted on them. So she was my energetic friend, even though I never met her. My parents know her long-term partner, but I think my parents met her, but I never got to meet her. But I'm very sad about that. I should have pursued that. I wanted to meet her. She was living in San Diego towards the end of her life. An amazing woman has made a whole lot of very, very large sculptures. Happy, happy, happy sculptures that give love to the world. She's always been my most favorite artist. Many of my friends liked her too. I was in the chat room today and I saw a whole lot of, I was very amazed, saw a whole lot of intellectually honest people there. I was amazed. It made me so happy to see that. We don't have to be something grand. No. Society, Hollywood's trying to tell us that. We don't have to be grand. We just have to be ourselves and be intellectually honest about it. And that's beautiful. And not do it as a cliche or not do it again, you know, with an ego nips itself in the butt and finds its way again in a roundabout way coming through the back door. Not, not do something again in order to fit in order to be liked, be humble in order to be liked. No, but just be humble because you want to be yourself. And that feels good. Be humble regardless of the haters, hating humble people, and regardless of those who make a fad out of it. So just be humble for being humble because it feels better. I like that when people are humble. I love it. I love it when people can tell me their weaknesses. That's the actual strength, to be there, talk to maybe the stranger even, and say, hey, I have that same problem, or I have this problem, or that problem, or I wonder why I have this problem or that problem. And so we can get into a communication about it. Just talking about these things makes us already feel better. There's nobody to laugh about you. Not on my channel. I will not allow it. This feels like a marshmallow now. It feels so squishy. I love it. Absolutely love it. Feels good. The heater on my behind feels really, really good. I had so many bladder infections. I don't want to get another bladder infection. I really don't. I'm gonna look after myself now with this. I'm not gonna cave in to whoever I live with, who likes to have it ice cold. No. No, we have to look after our own bodies, listen to our own bodies, and see what our own bodies need, what they really, really need. That's what matters, and nothing else. Find out what your body really, really needs. And there's no shame about any of this. No shame. We are animals. We are animals. We are apes. We are monkeys. We are mammals. We are full of needs. We nurse our babies. I don't have a baby, but if I had one, I would nurse the baby. So, yeah, we have needs. We have hormones. We are just like the other animals, just like the dogs and the pigs. Okay. Never use the word pig as an insult again. We are pigs, all of us. Yeah, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We are sexual. Never be afraid of that. Sometimes I see celibate people on the internet. I really do. I see all kinds of people on the internet. This one celibate Christian guy, the way that was a couple of years ago, the way he came up to me, he didn't need to talk to me at all, right? But there was something, this inner conflict, between the hormones and this curiosity, and there's a European lady, she has maybe something fresh to say, or who knows, something interesting, maybe something sexual, and on the other hand, that fear of this brimstone and the religious threats that have been indoctrinating him, and shackling him. How horrible. We are animals. Whether people are celibate, monks, whatever religion that they may be, whatever people are, or if they are a sci-fi cult, there was a sci-fi cult where the leader of them said, you shall not be sexual, that's low class, that's of the old school, we have transcended that word. It's all bullshit. All of this is religious and bullshit. We are animals, we are sexual. There might be some people that don't feel sexual feelings. They don't feel urges like this. That's very rare, but I heard about it, and it exists, I think. And even among those, there are some that just don't want to be molested. Other than that, they would like a romance, but they would even like that, all of this. But they just don't want to be, they don't want this molestation type of. They've been through that as a child, and they just don't want that. And I so much understand. I don't like it when men do this. When men are overly, like, with their mouth all over, and I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't like this ravenous, like, overly. I mean, it's to each their own thing. And if this is your own thing, you find someone who likes it, it's good. I talked to my brother about that earlier, and then he goes so far to say, yeah, people should, whatever, even if it's consensual, then but I have to object and say, like, it stops for me even, if two people are consensual, if they do sadomaso, if they're hurting each other, that's where I say no to it. I don't think that's okay. That is not okay. No, that's not okay. Violence is not okay with me. I can't control people. I can't force them. I can't force them to quit drinking alcohol or hurting themselves in any way. I don't have legislation over people's lives. But what I do reserve myself to have the freedom for is to say no to violence. At least I say it. This is an invitation from me to the world. This one sentence, no to violence. It's my invitation to the world. If someone says to me, aren't you okay with him flagellating his boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, I will say, it is not okay for me that you hurt another living being, no matter what, even if it's consensual. It's not okay with me. But I would not do activism and go into someone's house and say, hey, you can't do your sadomaso anymore. I'm taking that out of your hands, that whip. Or I'm not going to do that. But if you do this to an innocent being, if you do this to another species, they did not give their consent. Okay. Then I will. If I see this happening, I will call the police. I will intercept. I will call animal protections. I will call the Humane Society, PETA, the SPCA. I will. I will do what I can to save that living being. So, and my message to the world is, I don't know how many people are like that are hurting another for whatever psychological, bizarre kind of, well, I don't know what's going on in the brain. I don't know what it is. I can't follow. I said that many times. So, but I say no to violence when it's another innocent living being. I will do what I can to protect them. And if you ask me, do you think it's okay if I whip my boyfriend? I'll say, no, it's not okay. But I'm not going to interfere. So this is how I stand with this. And in terms of relationships, I am 100% pro open relationships. So, because nobody can control the other person. We don't own another living being. We don't own our dogs. They live, they're our children, they're our babies. We don't own our babies. The other living being exists for his and her own reasons. They wanted to live, they exist, they are our proteges, we are there to protect them. They're innocent, they deserve to be loved, and they deserve to be protected. Okay? If people can't do this, they should not bring another living being into their lives, animal or human, adopted or biological, doesn't matter. And my message is, particularly don't put another biological child into this world. Opt out of breeding. The world is way overpopulated. We have tremendous problems now. Ecological problems because of overpopulation. This is a real serious problem. These things are very important to discuss. Only religious people stand against that. Only religious people, because the corporate agenda has both of their feet in the door with religion. They use religion to sway people in their direction, and the religions also don't. The egos are big time involved with religions, and they don't want anything that sways out of the religion, and they want to cling to something that's hundreds of years old and doesn't apply anymore today. So, 300 years ago, they thought the forests were endless. There's still people to this day that think that. I flew over the redwood forest. Last time I flew, the last airplane I boarded, I don't think I'm ever gonna go into an airplane again. But the last airplane I boarded, because I'm scared now, I'm scared of terrorism and stuff. So the last airplane I boarded was from San Francisco, and I'm not gonna go where it went, but it flew over the redwood forest, and we could clearly see it was not overcast. We could clearly see that the redwood forest had been clear cut on all sides, and I saw Republican ladies looking down, and they were shocked. They didn't know. Their religious ministers and their talk radio hosts that are influenced by the logging industry, ExxonMobil, and the list goes on. They're not going to tell them that. They'll say that the environmentalists, blah, 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 blah. I'm not even going to repeat what they say about us. So she saw it with her own eyes. She saw the forest was clear cut. She was shocked. I saw the horror on her face. I didn't say anything. I didn't want an argument. I was also exhausted. But it was interesting for me to see this. It was interesting to see that reaction, and I was glad that they were looking down and seeing for themselves with their own eyes that a vast part of the redwood forest has been clear cut. And these trees, these old growth trees there are trees that are as old as Jesus Christ, and sometimes older even. They might be as old as the Buddha. They might be there might be 3,000-year-old trees, and they cut those trees down to make toilet paper, paper cups, and paper plates out of it that will end up somewhere in the landfill. I think this is this is more than an insult. It's like, this is sacrilegious to me to do something like this. To do that to our ancient forests, to the old growth redwood forest, and the sequoias too. What they're doing, clear cutting. We need to become very aware about this, and that is why I refuse to buy any kind of wood products. I buy cotton, I buy bamboo, I buy sometimes recycled, or from, if it says from renewable resources. I don't know exactly what they mean by this, but sometimes you don't have a choice. But I will choose the most resourceful and environmental choice there is that I can find. I will not buy wood anymore. I don't buy wood products. My husband, he bought a mirror with a wood frame. I was against that. It pains me to see that. Sometimes he buys 2x4s repair something, it's painful for me to see that. You know, we can, for example, we can buy 2x4s, beams, you know, or any kind of dimensional beam for remodeling. My husband and I have been doing remodeling. I got a little bit into this, and I saw that there are alternative options out there for remodeling a home, for repairing things and structures and so on. There are alternative material wood beams, imitation wood beams. They are made out of recycled car tires, they're made out of cork materials, there may be some wood chips mixed into it. It's all ground together into a powder, and then it is, I don't know, it is heated and mixed up with some kind of, I don't know, an oil or something, maybe raw oil, or, and then made into a plastic sort of mass, and then cast into that form of a wooden 2x4, for example, you know, which they have taken casts off, and then they use that material to fill this cast, and then they will take out this imitation 2x4 and they'll sell that. Those are way more expensive, of course, and that's also really, really terrible. The government has an obligation to give incentives on those kind of things. They should give the manufacturers an incentive for making this. They should give them tax breaks, or they should give them extra benefits. Should give major tax breaks on making this, and they should force them to sell those things for a lower price than the actual tree products. But it's not being done, of course. In order to do this, it takes a governor like Jerry Brown. The new governor now in California seems to be great. We'll see. So he seems to be really great. I'm gonna have to look into this now. He's already starting out really well for the animals. I'm very grateful for this. So Arnold Schwarzenegger was great. The last governors were all great. So the John Kitzhaber in Oregon was great. I think the logging industry, they got him out. They slandered him out. They're always trying to slander the kind-hearted people out of offices. This is always going on. And we have to pay attention with this, and we have to, when we care, we have to speak out and say something. It's very important. This is our role right now. This is our duty to do. We are here in this existence, so let's put our effort into making this coexistence better. Okay, this is very, very, very important. Each person can do something in terms of political activism. I'm not asking too much. I'm not asking you to stand in wind and weather in front of stores like I have done. I'm not asking you to jump into the ocean and or do any of these things. All I'm asking is sign important petitions. It's very important to sign important petitions. Start by going to the website of PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or Humane Society, or the petition site, or any of those IDA or SPCA. Go to their websites, look what you can do, look what you can sign. Very important. We have moved mountains with online petitions alone. This is the main medium for activism, is internet petitions, and they work. They work 100%. Vladimir Putin is a very caring man. He's being slandered. Of course he's being slandered. Because corporate interest, corporate hand washing, all of these. They don't want anyone kind-hearted in any kind of powerful position. So don't believe the slander. Look into it first. Don't before you believe or buy into any of these slander techniques that they have out there. Find out for yourself. I hear people always slandering Hillary Clinton, and then when you ask them what did she do that is so bad, they don't know the answer. Yeah. But always repeating what someone said on talk radio. That's not being a good steward to the planet, to repeat what someone else said on talk radio. You have to dig into these things yourselves. You have to research these things for yourselves. And you have to participate in this. We are here together, and we have to make the world better together. Okay? So you guys take care.